Ladies and gentlemen, what we're about to show you tonight exposes the corporate media's desperation like never before. Grabien has just dropped their compilation of 2024's most mortifying media moments, and it's a masterclass in propaganda. From labeling Biden's cognitive decline as cheap fakes to editing Kamala's incoherent rambling into seemingly coherent responses, the mainstream media's mask has completely fallen off. They've gone from being the watchdogs of our republic to the lapdogs of the elite. And wait until you see how they tried to manufacture enthusiasm for Kamala's DNC speech with fake Beyonce rumors. Yeah, the corruption runs deep, but tonight we are exposing it all. And my fellow Americans, while the mainstream media continues to push their propaganda, smart patriots are protecting their wealth from the coming storm. Just like we expose the truth about media corruption, global gold investments, they expose the truth about protecting your retirement. Call 888-700-4148 and receive their new 2024 Protect Your Wealth and Retirement Guide, soon to be 2025. Don't let your retirement fall victim to market manipulation. Secure your future with precious metals. And when you mention Next News, Gary Franchi, you'll receive up to $1,000 in free silver for all retirement rollovers this month. Yeah, and it's about to close out soon. So call 888-700-4148. That's the number on the screen, or click the link in the description. Okay, so let's get into it here. We have from Grabien News, the truth has been exposed, a scorcher. 2024's top 10 most mortifying media moments. Biden hailed as a genius. Project 2025 smeared, and Kamala's cover-ups galore. The globalist media meltdown in full display. Let's watch it before it gets deleted, right? Let's go. Oh, here's my boy.
Start your tape right now.
I am taking a, what do they call it? Like a regular dose, whatever. They're trying to build up of ivermectin.
Ivermectin? A dewormer? Really? Because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Donald Trump declaring before a crowd that Cheney should be put before a firing line.
An FBI.
Who could ever forget that? When they manipulated that quote, when he was on stage with Tucker Carlson, and they took it completely out of context and ran with it. Oh boy, my friends, this is going to be fun.
If you can't handle the truth.
It's clear as day. The FBI put out statistics for 2023. Crime is going down. You don't have to twist the facts.
Violent crime in America has actually gone up, not down.
Grabien presents the most mortifying media moments of 2024. Number 10, ignore your eyes. Those are cheap fakes.
There's a growing and insidious trend in right-wing media, broadcast, print, and social media. It is to take highly misleading and selectively edited videos of President Biden directly from Republican National Committee social media accounts. And then,
you know what's funny about this is it's like she's projecting, because that's what the media does every single moment with Donald Trump, with other conservative figures. They take them out of context. But the fact is that the video that was presented during these moments here, these were not cheap fakes, friends, but that's how the media wants to present it.
those videos to spread messages virally to cast doubt on President Biden's fitness for office. Here is this headline from the New York Post, quote, Biden appears to freeze up, has to be led off stage by Obama at Megabucks LA fundraiser. The full video, posted by Biden finance chair on Twitter, shows something entirely different. Biden reacting to applause and then walking off stage with former President Obama.
Look at that. Look at that right there. That moment. That was a turning point right there for Clooney. Yeah, when Clooney saw that, he recognized this was the end of the Biden campaign, and this was really this was a turning point. And it was really sad to see this. Obama just patting him on the back. Come on, Joe. Let's put you out to pasture. And that's exactly what happened next, right?
1 week after the New York Post made a cover out of another piece of deceptively edited tape, calling him meanderer-in-chief due to what they claim was Biden walking away during a skydiving demonstration during the G7 summit last week. Biden was going over to congratulate one of the skydivers. The articles are based on cheap fakes.
Okay, she said that Biden was going over to congratulate. How does she know that? Was she in Biden's head at that moment when he was distracted by the guy in the ground packing up his parachute and he meanders away from the photo shoot?
meander in chief due to what they claim was Biden walking away during a skydiving demonstration during the G7 summit last week. Biden was going over to congratulate one of the skydivers. The articles are based on cheap fakes, videos of real events that are intentionally manipulated to fool viewers.
Number 9. CNN thinks America is a democracy.
There's a lot of criticisms of Trump that he is bad for democracy, that he's bad for American democracy.
Okay, we are a republic.
We're a republic.
We are not a democracy.
Republic. We're not a democracy.
I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories. I hear a lot of things out on the road. But to hear Americans, people who would describe themselves as patriots, say that America is not a democracy, that stopped me in my tracks.
Isn't that wild? CNN calling it a conspiracy theory if you call the United States a republic. But I expect nothing less from them. It sounds like he's got an accent too, so what would he know, right? He's probably from that nation that we defeated during the revolution, right?
You are hearing people say America is not a democracy because there are people around Trump who want them to be saying that, who've been planting that narrative.
Number 8. Beyonce is performing at the DNC.
There are rumors that Beyonce might make an appearance. I personally think that that's true.
Is the United Center going to be turning into the Beehive tonight?
You know, the talking points went out from the DNC. Hype it up, get all the eyeballs, get everyone turning in, right? Change the channel. Watch the DNC. Beyonce's coming, everybody. Yeah. What about her husband these days, though, right? He's in some hot water.
Beehive is buzzing right now because the preparation for the Beehive, it has to start early.
A donor confirmed to me that she's also hearing that Beyonce is en route.
Beyonce is going to show up. Queen Bey.
Breaking Beyonce news.
Number 7. The media tries to scare people about Project 2025.
The far-right manifesto puts forth sealing the border, and it seeks to do so with military force. It aims to use every lever of government to find, detain, and deport undocumented people, take funding and housing away from people who are just associated with undocumented immigrants. Quote, deny loan assistance to those who are not U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents.
Did you see that? They're freaking out that Trump is going to deny loan assistance to people who are not legal American citizens.
Media tries to scare people about Project 2025.
The far-right manifesto puts forth sealing the border, and it seeks to do so with military force. It aims to use every lever of government to find, detain, and deport undocumented people, take funding and housing away from people who are just associated with undocumented immigrants. Quote, deny loan assistance to those who are not U.S. citizens or lawful permanent residents.
Number 6. Media tries to hype up the amount of misinformation on X.
After Elon Musk took over in 2022, most of its fact-checkers were fired. Now the site is rife with trash talk and lies.
Trash talk and lies. Before Musk took over, that's all it was. And it was dominated by leftist lunatics. Oh, wait till you see what's about. They're going to show this picture and they just they freak out over this AI image. Watch this.
Little would you know that this, said to be footage from Gaza, is really from a video game. Eventually, X users added a warning label.
And that's how the fake news is checked on X, through community notes. But they can't stand that. But this is the picture. This is the picture right here. It's Biden and Trump baking a pie. Okay? They're all smiles. I mean, obviously, you and I both know that would never happen. But they are freaking out in the media because pictures like this go viral on X and because people are laughing at it or sharing it as if it's some kind of reality.
Are AI-generated images of, well, see for yourself. Did your research find that there was more misinformation spread by conservatives?
Absolutely.
X has turned into a haven for the spread of misinformation. Since buying the site almost 2 years ago, Musk's site has struggled to control it on topics ranging from the election to the assassination attempt against Trump.
Number 5. Tim Walz is the best. J.D. Vance is the worst.
Midwestern dad, like super clean cut vibe.
Everybody likes
right?
Tim Walz.
So plain spoken and relatable. Pretty moderate Democrat.
Very moderate record.
The new moderate.
He's right down the middle.
He's not just an old white man.
Tim Walz beats America.
Talks like a regular person.
Tim Walz is the opposite of weird. Populist approach to fear on the Republican side, and the happy populism that Tim Walz is on the ticket on the Democratic side. And happy warriors. Happy warriors.
He was certainly the happy warrior last night.
Happy warrior, folksy backstory.
Wicked sense of humor. Look how happy the pig looks. That's good.
And J.D. Vance is weird, extreme, and angry.
Utter humorlessness.
It's hard to believe that J.D. Vance could be any more extreme.
It's like a freak show of bros.
Dark and ugly beneath the dignity of most politicians.
J.D. Vance.
J.D. is at the far extreme.
The most extreme.
Being one of the most extreme.
Angry and mean and dark. This guy is really weird, y'all.
Number 4. Very, very bad things will happen if Trump wins.
Think about what happens
This is good.
if all of our access to health care goes away next Tuesday. The stakes literally are life and death for every woman in America.
Okay, so I'm pausing it here. You're a woman, you're watching this right now. Has anything changed? Do you anticipate any changes in your healthcare provider? I mean, the lies spewed from the mainstream media is exactly why MSNBC has lost half of their viewership and is about to go up for sale. Oh, boy.
Beneath the dignity of most politicians.
J.D. Vance.
J.D. is at the far extreme.
The most extreme.
Being one of the most extreme.
Angry and mean and dark. This guy is really weird, y'all.
Number 4. Very, very bad things will happen if Trump wins.
Think about what happens if all of our access to health care goes away next Tuesday. The stakes literally are life and death for every woman in America. It's not hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration.
Trump will fulfill his promise to be a dictator on day one.
Sets up a network of camps.
Extraordinarily erratic foreign policy in the Middle East.
Doing profound and possibly permanent damage to American democracy.
If historians in the future are allowed to write books, and by the way, that question is open this morning, and if people are allowed to go on television and say what they think in the future, which again, that question is open this morning. That's what happens when strong men come to power. That happened in Italy in the 1920s and 1930s, Germany in the 1930s. Suspend the Constitution, pit the Justice Department, the Defense Department against political enemies, and run this country out of the White House.
Number 3. Joe Biden would never pardon his son because he is such a great guy.
Presidential promise to put the law before family.
The president has ruled out pardoning his son.
Pledging not to pardon his son.
To sit there and say, well, I'm not going to intervene in the legal process, and I wouldn't pardon my son. Democrats and Joe Biden protecting the justice system.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son.
And Joe Biden has very clearly said he would not pardon his son. He would not commute his sentence. How can Republicans keep making this argument now that Joe Biden has really put it out there?
He's not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country. Yeah. And it isn't, I mean, if you want to know if he believes it, you could actually see what is happening with his own son.
Even President Biden saying in a statement that he would respect the outcome of this case.
This was a good day for the system, good day for sort of America as an example of how the rule of law should work.
We're coming on the air this hour with breaking news. President Biden has just pardoned his son, Hunter.
Number 2, media gets caught editing interviews to help Kamala Harris.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
Well, I'll start with this. I grew up a middle-class kid. My mother raised my sister and me. She worked very hard. She was able to finally save up enough money to buy our first house when I was a teenager. I grew up in a community of hardworking people, you know, construction workers and nurses and teachers. And I try to explain to some people who may not have had the same experience, if...
I've already forgot what the question was. But I know she's from a middle-class family.
But a lot of people will relate to this. I grew up in a neighborhood of folks who were very proud of their lawn.
When we talk about bringing down prices and making life more affordable for people, what are one or two specific things you have in mind for that?
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems...
Are you going to miss those word salads? I mean, I was watching this clip with Angie, and we were just like jaws on the floor trying to comprehend what she said there. But like watching these clips here of how the media literally edited her answers is the most dishonest form of journalism in the world. And it is absolutely shameful. This is 60 Minutes, and they're editing her answers? I mean, talk about revealing your bias, protecting the candidate. And even with all the help that she had and Walz had, they lost. It's because everybody saw through the charade.
Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
Number 1, there's no cognitive decline. In fact, Biden has never been better.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
She knows so long as she was 9.
In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
President Biden has a photographic memory.
But he's totally focused. He's very sharp.
They say he's sharp in meetings and so on.
Very lucid, very well informed.
He's older. That doesn't mean that he is unfit. He can clear a dementia bar, and that's probably a win.
More wild speculation from a bunch of people who have probably never been in a room with Joe Biden and certainly don't have medical degrees that I'm aware of.
But a huge part of the Mueller report talks about Russian disinformation tactics. And one of the themes this election cycle is that Joe Biden is too old to lead. And so everyone is seizing upon this. And it is a classic disinformation tactic.
You know, what's sad about this this Grabien clip is that they didn't include anything from this Wall Street Journal report, where everybody's coming out now. They are all exposing Joe Biden and his cognitive decline and the cover-up. And of course, as we played in some of our last reporting, James O'Keefe's insider, the National Security Advisor, Council Advisor, clearly covering it up, talking about it, saying Joe Biden is dead, and he's going to be dead in a year. I mean, that's what they're saying on the inside, but the media did everything in their power to cover it up. And this 10-minute and 38-second clip from Grabien News it's why the American people have lost all faith in the mainstream media. And that's why channels like the Next News Network excel. That's why we're beating them in the ratings. That's why MSNBC is down 50%. CNN is down. They're all down. It's because they lie to the American people. But we are here to correct the narratives and have a little laugh. So what we've witnessed tonight, it's more than just media bias. It's a coordinated campaign of deception. The corporate media's attempts to cover for Biden's cognitive decline, manufacture enthusiasm for Kamala, and attack America First policies, well, they reached unprecedented levels in 2024. Yeah, they weren't even trying to hide their agenda. From CNN's edited interviews to MSNBC's desperate spin, 2024 has exposed just how far they will go to maintain their grip on the narrative. But here's what they don't want you to understand. The American people aren't buying it anymore. Their viewership's collapsing, their credibility's shot, and the alternative media is rising. So here's tonight's question. Is the mainstream media's blatant propaganda pushing us towards a complete restructuring of American journalism? Who are some of the voices that you trust? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, show your support for real news with our exclusive MAG Avengers collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.